and spice. Yeah. And make everything there feel nice. No, no. Yeah. A little sugar and spice. Yeah. And make everything there feel nice. Yeah. The shawty bad to the bone.
Welcome to the
Sugar
and Spice podcast. And welcome back, everybody. Obviously, we were not here last week because Miss Andrea went away. And of course, you know, like I made sure to put a little bit more bronzer on so that I went away too because I don't want to be left out. How was the trip?
amazing.
Good.
Amazing.
Good. Refreshed, ready to go out of
Yeah.
those winter blues.
Well, and then I
I
come
mean-
back here and it's like torrential downpour,
Dude.
potential freezing rain.
Yeah.
So
It's we're being tickled by spring. And with it being obviously the first week of the month,
yep.
we are going to do our tarot card pull again. So I'll let you can do yours first. We'll do mine and then we'll do everybody's.
Okay.
So just kind of like what we want for the month.
And like flip it, shuffle it, right?
Yeah. Whatever feels right. Alrighty. Ooh, indecision.
Oh,
Indecision. I'll put it up, don't worry. Alrighty. And it's upright too. So maybe it's like you should just like move to Mexico. So which choice to make? This card marks the presence of two or more possible choices in your life. It shows you anxiously looking at two roads, wondering which one would be the better choice. Yet you are standing still, feeling confused by the up and down emotions of your present indecision. You could spend days, months, or even years in the back and forth energy, all the while feeling your focus and your life force energy draining away. This decision creates a paralysis of will, one that will keep you stuck while you're waiting to be certain about the results of your choice. It is time to let go of the analysis and self doubt that have been keeping you stuck. Meditate on your options and see where your spirits guides you. Consider which direction resonates with you most, both in the process and the goal. Follow your heart and make the honoring choice. I release fear and move forward with courage and trust. I have the power to direct my own destiny now and always. So that's a good one. All right. Actually, I'll just keep that one on. I don't know, like, what do I want for this month? What is happening this month? I don't know. It's May. We got spring. We got
April.
Easter.
It's
Or
April.
Wow. Sorry, I already jumped a month. Holy crap. I'm just looking forward to like warmer weather, you know? Ooh, fifth chakra, Archangel Gabriel. All right, Gaby, what is happening? Self-expression and speaking your truth. Gabriel holds his trumpet in one hand and a beautiful orb of blue light in the other. He is sending powerful energy to your throat center, acknowledging your power to communicate and your readiness to do so. This angel opens you up to truthful expression, both within yourself and others. You may have had trouble with expressing emotions and ideas in the past, but Gabriel is here to tell you that your soul longs to take a leap now. Be aware that true communication includes how you speak to yourself, so never deny your profound integral value. Speak up for yourself, write in your journal, let words flow. Now is the time to express yourself freely and fully, and the universe will always honor your choice to do so. This card also indicates that a communication project is coming or a time of heightened communication with spirit and telepathy with others. And my throat chakra is open to its perfect healthy state, spinning with the beautiful energy of freedom and empowerment. I am free to express myself in every way. Okay, I accept that. And then you can pull for everybody else.
Shuffle first.
Yeah.
Okay. Like you gave me this
Get the
look. I'm like, did I
collective.
do it
Get the
wrong?
collective. No, you can never do it wrong. There's no wrong in this.
Alrighty.
Alrighty. Okay. So we have the woman holding a coin, but it's like upside down. Okay, so female, connection and money, health or value. This card reversed could indicate that you're feeling unsure or fearful about finances or some health issue. It could also reveal a lack of value for yourself in your own life. Pointing to someone else when this card comes in reverse, it shows a woman who may be reducing your own money or simply may not have your best interests in mind regarding your financial affairs. It could also be someone who devalues or criticizes you or causes you doubt to your own value. It could even be that the harmful energies of a woman from the past are still influencing you today. Be aware that you don't have to let anyone else's negative vibration influence you at any time. Release any toxic connection and know that you are free to define and value yourself no matter what. The world supports me in my financial goals. I am making synchronistic connections that serve and honor me. So, however you guys may feel that fits into your life, just be true to yourself and it'll all work out.
Are you going to put little screenshots of the
Yes.
descriptions and the
Yes.
cards? Okay.
Yes.
So
yes.
you
So-
can read it at your leisure as well.
Yes. Read it, save it, go back through it. And yeah, and hopefully we have good vibes for April. Hopefully we get some nicer weather.
Mhm.
And now
Now,
on to
what we've been waiting
Temptation
for.
Island. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. So, brief synopsis of Temptation Island.
Yes.
4 couples. They're at a crossroads in their relationship. I'm just going to be honest. If you're like a year in and you feel you need to do this for your relationship, actually, if you feel you need to do this at all for the relationship, I don't think that's the relationship for you.
No, seek therapy.
Yes.
Seek therapy.
Therapy.
All of these couples seek therapy.
Or better yet, like walk away because you're only a year in.
This is, well, the one couple's 3 years in.
3.5, I think.
Yes. So, like, obviously we're gonna get into it, but like, why would you ever?
Why waste your time?
Why waste your time? You know, this is nothing good is
Like-
gonna come out of this.
And at the end of the day, like they're all younger than us, so they're all in like their mid-20s.
Lots of time.
You guys, so like you don't even. I feel like you don't even really know who you are at that age.
No.
Like it's just don't do that. And like anyway, okay. So now like you have the 2 sides of the resort. There's the women's side and there's the men's side. But on the women's side, they have 12 single guys who come in, and all you got to remember, all of these singles are coming to this house with a purpose. They are on the purpose of stealing your man or your woman. The same for the 12 girls. And I will always say, like, the single girls are way worse than the guys.
Yeah.
They are. I'm like, oh, honey, like, anyway.
Well, some of them are worse than others.
Yes, I will say some of them definitely. Some of them I'm like, I haven't even heard you speak once.
Right.
So like, whatever. And obviously, like, this is to tempt the partners and put the relationships to the test and see if they can withstand the temptation. But like, I feel like it's just an excuse to cheat.
It's so unrealistic.
It is.
Like, when would you ever be in this position where there's multiple people who are like trying to tempt you away from your relationship? Like, it wouldn't happen.
And I just feel like, once again, if you need this to solidify your relationship, there's something seriously wrong with the relationship.
Seek therapy.
Yeah, like,
Couples counseling.
disclaimer, therapy first, guys. Like, and not like the half-ass therapy that the host tries to give. Mark Wahlberg from Timu is what I called him.
Yes, but
At least he tries.
because I was gonna say Nick Lachey could never.
I have it written down where I'm like, they need him on Love is Blind. They need something like him on Love is Blind.
Like, I know you're like, he's TV Mark Wahlberg, but I thought some of the insights he was giving at the bonfire, I was like, oh.
Yes, I often,
Go
and I'm like,
off.
I've been meaning to like kind of like do some research to see if he actually has some sort of like knowledge.
Like, what is back? Yeah.
What his background is, because like he does come through with like a lot of like, and maybe it's from doing the show for so many seasons.
But he
now.
does
He does come through with some stuff.
Yeah,
like some good
some
stuff.
truth bombs.
But I'm like, how can you, like a grown man who's like probably in his 50s, you're here watching all these children go through this? Like, don't you want to be like dad mode and be like, honey,
yeah,
just leave.
cut him loose.
Yeah. So like, okay, so like couple one, I have like Ashley and Grant.
Yeah.
Is who I have down as couple one. Like 100% bad vibes right off the start.
Wretched vibes.
I was like,
Wretched vibes.
I was just like, don't trust him. He was already like, I know I'm gonna be tempted. Like, and let alone like he cheated a month in and you stayed. Like, she's gorgeous.
Absolutely.
I
She
think
could do a million times better than this Joker.
they all could. The only one that I find attractive is Breon.
Of course you do.
But like, I don't find any of them attractive. I'm just
No,
like,
I don't either.
like, what is like? I'm like, he's got some GTL thing going on. Like, we're in Jersey Shore,
Who?
like, Grant with his hair and like,
Okay, his hair, yeah.
I'm just like,
He's so, and he's, oh, oops.
and he has a kid. Oh, we just
Technical
got so excited.
Technical
Still on?
difficulties. I don't know. It's green.
Okay, we're good.
Okay.
But like, and he has a kid. I was like,
And when he was talking at the one point, and he's like, "I have a daughter." He's like, "And I don't." He's like, "I've only brought two people around my daughter," and I'm like, "How? Like, we need context. How old is your daughter? Because if
Yeah.
your daughter's 3 and you've already brought two people around,
but also like,
red
who
flag.
are these two people? Like,
Well, obviously
obviously
Ashley
her,
and whoever was before Ashley."
I guess. Yeah, and like, how old is your daughter? Like,
Well,
he
that's
didn't.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, if she's 3, you've already brought two people around
That's a
her
lot.
plus their mom.
That's a lot.
Right.
And like, can I have a background on like? I need to know like what happened. Like, why are you not with the mom?
Why are
Like,
yes.
give me a background
And-
situation.
Well, you're not with the mom, and you've already been with two other people since the mom.
Yeah, and I'm like,
Unless
what are you?
he
And then,
unless he is a teen dad, which might explain a lot.
which that makes me really wonder if he was on 16 and pregnant
He
because
is.
he like, I don't know. And like, I love that like at the end they were like, hey, what's your boundary list? And it was like no touching, and I was like, that's not gonna last at all. I was like, that man is screaming like, I'm gonna like.
Like, I just get the vibe from him, like, okay, so he cheated a month in, but I don't feel like that's the only time he's cheated.
No,
I
I
think
feel
that's
like
the only time he's gotten caught.
yes, and like just the fact that it's like later on she makes the comment about like how the only time he ever really gets his act together is when he's losing her, and I was like, we all know somebody like that who like is just a little bit like, no, they're losing their person to feed off of.
Right.
They're losing their source.
Yes. They're
So
their hold on something.
I do love the fact that she got so many bracelets. Like that, just to me,
I know.
I was like, you go, girl. I was like, you know how gorgeous you are, and you have such a nice personality. Like,
Yes, she's very nice.
like,
too.
especially like watching the first couple of episodes, like she's so sweet, and I'm like, you could do so much better. You're so much better than
Run.
him, girl.
I know. I'm screaming at the TV. I'm like, run, run, lose this.
I
lose
know.
that.
Like, and it's just the fact that like he purposely ruined her vacation in Greece. Like, you followed her there to get her back. Like, she could have been with some really great Greek man right now.
This guy.
Like,
Just the most rancid, awful, disgusting
Yeah.
vibes. Just a wretched, wretched person.
Yeah.
Like, I can't even. We won't even get into the rest of it right now. But
yeah, okay, this is like first impressions of the couple.
First impressions.
Okay. Breon and Shantae. I, right off the bat, I was like, he's going to be one cheat first. And I'm shocked.
That he's held it together.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Because
Yeah.
we only watched the first 3 episodes. So
Yes.
first 3 episodes.
I'm shocked that he was not the first one.
No.
Like, and like, what?
Well, but we don't know what happens.
But we already know that Grant makes a move.
Yes, but we don't know how the editing goes. Like,
Fair.
we don't know time-wise, sequentially. Like, yes, they're showing Grant first, but we don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah. Yeah, I will say though, I was quite impressed that the first 2 nights, all the guys went to bed by themselves. I was quite impressed because that has never happened on that show.
Oh no.
No.
Okay, I was gonna say the bar is.
I have somewhere written, the bar is in hell.
The bar is in hell.
It's in hell. Imagine flames. But honestly, just like, I got so triggered when he said like, oh yeah, we're a year in and I'm still not like emotionally available. I'm like,
Were
you go, you met her through church.
You're twitching.
I was like, PTSD, PTSD. Like, there was so much PTSD in the show. I was just like, good lord. And I was like, oh, he's a church guy. I'm like, he's the worst. I was like, I guarantee you they hooked up the first night. And what did they do? Hook up the first time they hung out.
Yeah.
I'm like, no,
But he's like, I don't know, like,
I'm not serious. It ain't serious.
I'm just getting, I don't know. I just get the vibe. Like, okay, so she's 28, he's 25.
Yeah.
I feel like, I know it's only 3 years.
I feel like this is
we'll get
another.
and we'll get this when we talk about Taylor and Tyler.
Yeah.
But it's only 3 years, but I feel like it's a big 3 years.
When the guy is 25
yes.
and the girl is older, I feel like this is another Virginia and Devin situation.
Yeah.
Where, like, she already has, like, her life together. Like, she seems like a very put together woman. And I just, like, want to be like, girl, like, you are more intellectual than him. You have it going on. Like, you just seem on a different level than him. Like, and I can understand. It was like when they were talking and he was saying how, like, she's very reserved and she's this. And I was like, well, maybe your personality doesn't give her space
to be more
fun. Because on the dates, she's having so much fun.
Well, yeah, like when on the very first date when they did the group date, she was dancing with Hashima. Yeah, and
she was having so much fun. There was no expectation.
And it was also very respectful. That's my other thing, like comparing the two sides. It's like the guy side
is always respectful.
Super respectful.
Yeah.
And then the other side is
the other girls are like free for all. Like, anyway.
But I feel like with Brian and Shantae, I feel like she is a mother figure to him.
Oh, 100%. There is, like, that's like,
he's got some things.
And I'm not gonna lie, like, I can't remember. I can't remember if I don't think there was any cheating in their relationship. I don't think so. It wasn't mentioned.
I think
he just is overly flirtatious, and I think he walks that boundary. But, like, I feel
they did break up at the beginning.
He did. He did. He picked her and then realized that it wasn't what he wanted.
Yes.
So, yeah. So she was, like, the second choice in a way. But, like, I don't know. I just still, like, I don't know.
Like, he's like, oh, she cooks. Like, she takes care of me.
Yeah.
So, like your mother.
Yeah. It's like the red pill phenomenon of, like, ooh, you can take care of me. Yay. But yeah, he's surprised me so far. I was just like, when they first, like, met the girls and he was like, oh, he's like, I don't care how fat their ass is, I'm not straying. I was like, you better go do confession right now, bro. Jesus ain't gonna help you on this. I was like, oh god, he's not gonna stay strong. But no. Like, surprising.
We'll get to it.
And then we have Alexa and Lino, which is, I feel like it's another situation where she seems so much more put together than him and, like, has her life kind of figured out. Like, I understand that there was obviously that, like, indiscretion in the beginning between them where it was like, but I just, like, were they exclusive when she was with both? See, that's where I teeter the line. Like, was she just dating two people and then was like, well, this guy's kind of nice. Like, this guy's giving me more attention.
I don't know. The way, like, they described it, it sounded like she had said to him, we're exclusive, but
yeah. I don't know.
I think, but she was married before.
She got married young.
She got married young. Then she ended up with Lino. It's like, and then she even said at one point, she's like, I haven't had time to like be by myself. And it's like, maybe you should have taken time.
Once again, like, take time after a divorce for yourself, like,
or a breakup or anything.
Something, yeah. Like, you need that time to heal those emotions and, like, move on. And, like, just for Lino, I was like, I feel like he's a commitment foe. And I labeled him, like, gym bro guy. And he also low-key reminds me of Soccer Boy.
Lino does.
Yeah, just, like, the face and everything. It's just, like, a littler version of, like, Soccer Boy.
Oh, because I was going to say, I didn't think Lino. I was going to say Tyler.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Maybe in the way he acts.
Yes.
But, like, visually, I was like, Lino's giving me Soccer Boy vibes. And now you're not going to be able to unsee that. Yeah, I feel like, because I think she is older than him. because she's gonna be
They're the same
30.
age. They're the same age.
Are they?
28 and 28 is what I have written
Okay.
down.
Because I thought she said she's gonna be 30.
I know, but I was like, but on the screen it says 28, so I'm not sure.
Oh, weird. Yeah. Okay.
Well,
Anyway.
she's gonna be 30 eventually.
Yeah, at some point.
She's very close to 29 while this was filming.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, now Tyler and Taylor. There's just so much on them that like I just can't.
Okay, so they've been together for 2.5 years.
Been married.
Yes, and he's only 27. And he's a model. See, that's why I was like, okay.
I get it now.
Okay.
I get it. I get it. But also, like, he gives me the biggest fuckboy vibes I've ever seen in my life. Like, I'm like, I guarantee you.
Was it that your trouble? Was that what?
It's always, oh, you're trouble. I was like, fucking having a spasm because I'm like, oh my god.
Oh. I was watching that on the plane and I was like, I'm gonna barf. Like,
you're like, I can't, get me off, get me off. Let me jump off.
Get the barf bag, please.
Yeah. I don't like the fact that he's been like living off her. Like, but I've been doing like modeling here and there and getting like shoots and stuff like that, but it's just not steady. But I'm like, okay, so like what's your income then? Like, if you're doing that, great, but like what's your income? Because even if you're doing one shoot a month, like if you're still getting paid to do it, you could still make like 2-3 grand a month, which is like a reasonable wage.
Right.
But like just the way it's putting it sounds like she has the better job, she has the house, like she's been supporting him for the last 10 months. And like I think she even said that too, and was like, well, like I feel like I'm the adult and he's the child.
Yeah. Well, again, there's only 3 years between them, but she's 30 and he's 27. So I feel like there's that difference there again where she's like, she's ready to settle down. Yeah, he was married before, but same thing as Alexa.
He didn't have time.
No, he jumped out of one, and this is like therapy, folks. Like, if something fails, like take some time for yourself and figure some stuff out.
Do some self-reflection.
Yes.
Figure out like your part in it. Because at the end of the day, like you can't just always blame somebody else because you took part in it. It's a two people to make a relationship work. And like they were another one who had like the no touching rule and stuff like that. And I was like, this ain't gonna last. This ain't gonna last. All right, now the singles.
Oh, well, you've taken much better. I have some.
Should we start with the guys?
Can you get to your ranking system? Because I can hardly. I got a little sneak peek, or not sneak peek, but a little preview of what was to come. And now I'm just.
My ranking is out of 5 stars. First impressions only. So this is like when they're walking up and they're trying to sell themselves.
Okay.
First up, Yemen. We can already guess. I gave him 4 stars. We appreciate the melanin. I also love too that he was like, I went to Shantae. I was like, thank you so much. Like, thank you. So he got 4 stars. Chris got 3.
Oh.
Do you know who he reminds me of?
I don't know.
UV.
Why?
Because he looked short and he was just giving me like gym bro vibes. Like, because he was a trainer.
Yeah, okay.
Like, I was just
but he had like actually
he was able to communicate.
He was able to communicate. He sounded like he'd been to therapy.
Yes, which sometimes is like not always a good thing. Like, thank you for going to therapy, but now sometimes they can weaponize it.
Yes, that's true. But I feel like he did seem short, but he had a reasonably attractive face.
Fair.
He wasn't hitting, like he didn't make me want to vomit the way Grant makes me want to vomit. So
fair enough. Like Grant's just like a piece of shit. I'm going on record and saying that.
Yes.
Danny got 2 stars. He was a basic white boy. Like I can't even really picture him.
Yeah.
Like basic white boy, like white bread. Hashim obviously got 4 stars. Nobody's getting 5. Obviously. I don't think so. No, nobody got 5. But he went to Princeton.
Did he?
Yeah, so he's like he's smart.
Okay.
Quentin also got 4 stars because he's got gorgeous eyes. but I also low key, he's like the light skinned boy with the blue.
Yes.
But however, I also feel like he is just on there to get the face card out there to get promotion.
Something.
Like because I can see him getting pulled for other stuff like that criminal guy from a couple years ago, the model.
The mugshot
Yes.
mugshot guy.
Yes. Giovanni, I'm so sorry, Giovanni. You get a 1 star because you are a typical Italian stallion. I cannot. Like, that is true. Like, he was sitting there with that Italian flag in the little confession booth, and I'm like, oh, God.
He seemed
He was really, I will say, he was sweet on
the date.
Yes, and like just being like, hey, I'm here as a friend. Like, my mom raised me right. I'm like, yeah, that's great. Are you though? I don't believe you.
Well,
but okay, Giovanni. Max, 2 stars. I can't remember what he looks like. Undecided, I put his eyes were pretty. I think he was the white boy with like the really blue eyes or something. I don't remember.
Okay.
Because like they didn't make an impression then, so they're neither good or bad. No, like you're kind of like
seen much of them.
I don't think we've seen him since.
No, I don't think so either.
And then Eric.
Oh, Alexa had her second date with Max.
Okay, yes. Okay, now that I remember, they went. He was like the cute guy that she was talking to in the pool.
Okay.
So he has like really pretty eyes and like has the little surfer skater hair.
Yes.
Eric, he's the candy guy. Do you know what he reminds me of? You've seen Grown Ups, right?
Eric, the what? The what?
Bad veneers. Oh, really, really white. He owns the candy shop.
Okay, but he
blonde, tall.
He was dates.
No, he hasn't been on dates, but he gave Ashley the letter. Do you know what he reminds me of? You've seen Grown Ups with Adam Sandler?
I haven't seen, but he has very angular, sharp.
For any of my viewers who have seen Grown Ups with Adam Sandler and all them, the guy from Saskatchewan, I'll show you the picture after. You're gonna be like, I can't unsee this now.
Yeah,
it's Saskatchewan. When they're all at the pool and all the women are at the pool, and this guy, like, he looks like a beefy, hot, like, tall, muscular, blonde, like, lifeguard, and he comes up and he's like, oh, guys, I'm from Saskatchewan,
Okay.
You've probably seen the clips,
yes.
But, like, I was like, immediately, because he just doesn't fit with everybody.
He's not attractive to me.
I don't think he's attractive either. Like, I was just like, I don't know, your face is just really bright. Like, I don't know if it's the teeth, the hair.
I don't know.
Everything, like, Case, he got like a 0 star for me. He was that former pro baller, pro basketball player, he said. He was like that really young one who he's interested in Taylor but hasn't been able to spend time with her.
Oh, yeah.
He's just really young. Like,
he's not that young though. He
just gives me. I know, but he just like he feels super young to me.
I think he's 29 because I was like, she's 30. Because I was like next to. Did you miss Cody in your assessments?
Yes, because I don't think I saw his name pop up because I remember there was 2 guys, their names didn't pop up for me.
Okay.
So I was just like, oh, they must not have been memorable. But also Danny reminds me of Tall Dan. I think that's the right Dan. I'm pretty sure it's Tall Dan. No, wait, I lied. Not Danny. There's another. Is it Dan?
It's not. It can't be Dan.
It's not Dan.
He's kind of like, he didn't look that tall.
He went on the first date with. Oh, sorry, Logan.
Oh,
Logan. Tall Dan.
Yeah, a little bit.
Tall Dan.
Yeah, because Logan and Danny, weren't they in the? Aren't they both
they're like
young?
Yes, and they're like there was the 3 of them that were like in 23s. They were all 23 or something, and they're like, yeah, we're the babies.
Yeah, okay. 20. I think Logan for sure is 22.
Logan, yes, him. I have him as a 3 star. I was like, he's cute, like he's tall, like whatever. Like we'll see what happens with him. And then he went on the first date with Ashley.
Yes.
And I was like, I think it was fine. Like, I think, like, all the guys have been pretty respectful about the girls' feelings and stuff like that. Like, there's not one that I can say is being super pushy.
No.
Which is nice. Like, at least, like, we all know there's ulterior motives. There's always going to be ulterior motives. But, like, at least they're somewhat, like, respectful, unlike the women's side. But
We'll get to
I don't
that.
know. Yeah, like I was like, she's good. Like Ashley was so sweet. She was like, "Okay, guys, I'm gonna go to bed alone. Like, have a great night," and then like
And
pieces out.
yeah, and then they all like went to bed, and
Yeah, and like I just feel like I don't know. Um, and then like, do we want to talk about like the first dates across the board, or what do you want to do?
yeah, like I mean, the first date
Or we can just
for
talk
the
about like the people in general and then go through.
yes, go ahead.
Okay. So like yeah, so Ashley's first date, I think it was like great. I think she had a good time with Logan. I think she's just like I think I will say I think all the girls are there for the right reasons. Like they're all doing introspection. Like
Absolutely.
they're all having conversations with themselves
Yeah.
and just in regards to the men they are with who I won't necessarily label all of them as narcissistic, but there's definitely a few that have those strong qualities. And when you are the supply for the narcissist and you're away from that narcissist for a while, you start to see clearly again. And I feel like that's what a couple of them are doing.
I feel like Ashley had that clarity by the pool.
100%. That first conversation, I was like, you know what? Like, I love this for them right now. All of these girls are like helping each other, like being like, well, like, what if you're thinking about this, like, just think about it. Like, what's going on in your head? How are you viewing this? Like, and now that you're away from him, like, what's going on in your head, right? Like, so I feel like that's where all the girls are doing the work and they're trying to figure out, like, what do we really want out of this, right? Like, because who knows? Because it's only fair to them to be like, do I really want to be with him? Or is it just comfortable? Because I'm used to it.
Well, and I think Ashley made a few good points, like in that, like their relationship does seem toxic. Like
Oh,
it's just
yes.
like her saying he's constantly over promising, under delivering. Like it was, I think she recognizes there's like that like push pull, and I think she needs to like extract herself from
Yes.
push
Yeah.
pull.
And like, and I also wonder too, like, how much of it is like, does she have an attachment to his daughter? Right? Like,
Well, but did you hear him?
yeah, I didn't like that.
I didn't like that
I
either.
didn't
I'm
like that
like, it's
either.
not her kid. It's
No.
not her kid. And I'm
And
like, and they've only been together for a year, and who knows how old this kid
and
is.
I said, I was like, under him when he was having that conversation, I was like, well, have you allowed her to feel comfortable?
Right.
And have you reassured her with your daughter?
Right.
Like, have you given her that reassurance to be like, I trust you with my, like, have you been there to help? And then, like, what's the relationship like with the baby mama?
Well, and he never talks about how old this child is
He
either.
doesn't
Like,
talk about his kid. I'm like, I would be talking about my kid. Like, it's weird.
well, I mean, he was well, but I guess it was more like to talk about Ashley, like about
I
how
guess.
she doesn't have that motherly instinct. But I'm like,
That's not her kid. And you guys aren't married. Like, I would say I'm like that with kids, but like I'm a natural person like that with kids. But like
and I would say
that,
I'm not like that with kids. So like I
it's op. Yeah,
like I didn't have and probably still don't have a ton until I had my daughter, like that kind of motherly instinct,
yeah,
right? And so sometimes some people just don't
yeah,
have it
yeah,
naturally. Like I didn't grow up around a lot having a lot of kids around. Like my brother and I are reasonably close in age, so it wasn't like we were the youngest cousins. So it wasn't like I was having to like babysit or watch other
yeah,
people's kids, right? So I get that for her. Like if you're not haven't been in a position where you've been around a lot of little kids, like to be around a little kid, maybe we don't know
yeah,
how old this kid is. Like maybe it is a
yeah,
little bit uncomfortable for her right now.
yeah.
Just be
But
and
like also like, what are the conversations you guys have had? Like, l- personally, like I've always said, I'm fine dating somebody who has kids, but like there's conversations that need to be had because I'm not going to enter a child's life to remove myself from it.
right.
Right? That's not fair to them. They don't understand. Like they know that they've gotten to know this person who's like a really good friend of theirs. Like they're with their dad or their mom or whoever.
Mhm.
And then if something happens, then you have to say to this kid, "I'm so sorry, I'm not going to be around."
Right.
Like that's heartbreaking for that child.
Right.
And like fair, like I would say like I'm so sorry until we're living together, I don't feel I should be spending that extended time with your kid. So of course I'm not going to be motherly.
Right.
Like, fair. Like, the girl's just trying to protect herself. Right? Like, and I highly doubt she wants to have a kid with you. Like, yeah, and then I don't know. I was just like, she's too pretty. Like, in the third episode, after the bonfires and stuff, and she's just like crying. I'm like, girl, you're too pretty to be like dealing with this guy.
This loser.
Like, he's such a loser. Like,
Such a loser.
and I'm happy that she went on that date with Danny. Like, the ATVs, it just seemed super fun.
Fun.
And I thought the Polaroid was cute and stuff like that.
Yes.
I did kind of feel like maybe he was being a little bit pushy towards the end just to try to like see where she was at. And she was just kind of like, oh, like, I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
But I think she's right when she's just like, I just need to go and like have fun. Like, I don't want to be that mopey girl, right? And it's hard to be like, okay, like, I'll say like it's gonna be hella interesting the next bonfire.
Oh yes.
Like, there's gonna be some
Yes.
intense changes happening
Yes.
at that next bonfire. So yeah. And then obviously like Grant going on his date with Olivia. I was like, you're already like cuddling on the boat. I'm like,
And then
okay.
yeah,
Okay.
and then going back, like cuddling on the boat, and then going back to the like villa
Yeah.
and the lingerie.
The lingerie party. I have that written down. Oh my god.
As like one of like if I was one of the women, like one of the couples, and we got to a bonfire and we were watching clips of that launch, I would be furious. Like so livid.
Yeah. And like, I knew that was coming because I'd seen the previous season, so they always do stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
But I like, either way, I'm so sorry, but like, if for some chance I was doing this experiment with a partner, like, sir, you better be running to your room and locking that door. Or I will hop a fence and come and find you.
Breon, like
That was a lot.
a lot.
That's cheat. Like, I'm so sorry, but that's cheating to me.
I'm so
You're
sorry,
letting
but
a girl like,
like we'll get to the bonfire, but like no one's forcing you. No one's forcing you to let her put chocolate sauce on your neck.
and
Not
literally
one,
like
not one person's forcing. Yeah.
eat
Oh.
you, and then to just say like, I appreciate you. Oh, that's like high five.
Like that infuriated me because I was just like, imagine. Anyways,
Yeah.
whatever. Like he awful.
Awful.
And then Tyler and the whipped cream.
That's another one. Like, I
What's his name?
Kay, the workout girl, Kay,
No,
or was it Courtney, the first date girl? I think she's making her rounds.
I don't like her.
I don't like her either.
I do not like her.
I don't like her
No.
at all.
She thinks she has a good amount of confidence because she really believes she's better looking than she is. I do not find her attractive at all.
No, there's a couple of them. Like, same with Kay. I'm like, you have a great body, girl. Like, I could tell you work out, but like, the face card's giving me you're on steroids.
Oh.
And she has a little bit of a deeper voice, so it makes me wonder if she competes. I don't know, like, there's just something about her face. Like, pay attention to it.
Oh, I can see that actually.
Because she's like,
Now
she has
that-
a
now that
great
you-
body and she
yeah.
knows how to work out.
Yes. Now that you're saying that.
There's something a little like off about her where I'm like, oh.
Also, why are you picking carrot cake gelato?
Who does that? I mean,
And-
I love a good carrot cake, but
I love a good carrot cake too.
but
Angela.
I know you're gonna see this. Hey, we would like a 7-layer carrot cake one day. Thanks.
I love a good carrot cake, but like as a gelato flavor,
That wouldn't be my top choice. Like, you're gonna tell me there wasn't other options? Like,
there was a lot of options.
There was a lot of
a
options.
gelato place.
she also just gives me. It's like the one thing about these girls is they're all like, I'm single, but I'm ready to be in a relationship. Ma'am, you're on a show where you're actively trying to steal somebody's man. I don't think this is the place for a wholesome relationship.
Wholesome relationships do not spring out of this.
No,
No.
which is like, I don't know. And then, I don't know. It was like, let me walk you to your room. Give me the room tour. I was like, girl, I know what you're trying to do right now.
Yeah.
Like, which is, I'm shocked that he didn't like cross the line.
I was like,
I'm
hey,
surprised.
I was surprised too, and I was like, hey, well, what do you know? But like I don't know. He's still, I feel like
He's too cocky to look like a rat. I have that written down.
he.
Uh,
I I don't know. Like
that's a good one.
what?
That was a good one. But then after the stupid painting thing, he was like, "Oh, we're Taylor's angels." I was like, "You all three are the ugliest in the group.
Oh,
Like, you are all going for Rat Boy. Like, I don't know what to tell you, but that is not the one I would go for if I was there.
no. But okay,
I
Brianna.
would usually go for Brian.
I got
A younger me maybe would have gone for Grant on looks because I was a fan of the GTL back in the day and Jersey Shore. Maybe I would have, but now no. They also looked short to me. Brian was the only one that looked tall. I feel like they were not tall to me. I feel like
Brianna looked tall to you. I feel like
Brian, yeah.
I feel like he looked short too.
No, I think he's tall. I think he's at least 6 foot. And I feel like Lino just has a really little head. So he looks like he's like a bobblehead on his show.
I feel like Tyler. I feel like he's got to be.
He's got to be at least 5'11", like pushing 6.
To be a model.
Yeah.
I feel like yes.
He also gives me the vibes that if like Abercrombie and like Hollister were still a thing, he would be one of those models working.
Yes.
And he'd be like, yeah, hit the pose.
American Eagle, maybe.
American Eagle, yeah.
Yeah.
And then yeah, like obviously, Grant did not. I knew as soon as he was like, "Let's go to a hot tub," I was like, "This is not going to end well." And like that girl too, Natalie. I'm like, girl, what are you doing? Like, we get it. You have a very nice body, but like now you're like posing on the side of the hot tub with him just to be like, "Yeah, look at me." Like,
I don't
tempt him.
I don't like her either. Like she is a lot.
I know. She's a really big smile. She's like, yeah.
She's a lot.
I think like obviously like the first date Shantae went with Hashim, like that was the group date. Like it was just fun. Like everybody was having fun. All the guys were being super respectful. Like
Even the lap dance was reasonably
Yes.
respectful. Like,
Yes.
It didn't get really dirty.
not like the women's side when they were like rubbing up all on each other to do the paint thing. I'm like,
yeah.
come on.
Must
No,
we?
thank you. Must
Right.
we do this?
do that?
Yes.
Right.
Let's have some class, ladies.
That ship has
I know.
failed.
I know. And like on her I think it was in the third episode where she was talking about they were talking she was saying like she has a lot of empathy and stuff like that and I'm like empathy is the worst because it will always have you understanding other people's actions. Like just
Yes.
when it comes to like her boyfriend and stuff like that. And it's like fair, like girl, like you have so much more than him. Like this is like she just seems like a really sweet girl. And like I understand that he's been like trying to explain to these other girls like how nice she is and stuff. I'm like, honey, they're not buying it. These girls are not buying it. Like you can have the best of both worlds. Like you could have this and that and whatever. Yeah, but that girl, that baddie who's gonna like want to jump your bones every day isn't gonna want to cook for you, isn't gonna want to clean for you. Like, yeah, there's gonna be a balance somewhere. You're gonna find a balance somewhere, but you're not gonna find it on the show.
Mm-mm.
Like, like this is not Bachelor.
What's that girl's name?
Courtney?
Like, do you think Courtney's cooking and cleaning for you?
No, and she's also made her rounds with all of these guys too.
Well,
Because I feel like she's been talking to all of them.
it's interesting because they're like, well, I don't want to get like pegged with
And
one.
I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket. Like, I will never, and I will never, ever compete for a man's attention.
But I'm like, what do you even care about putting your eggs in one basket? Because I'm like, are you expecting to pare down?
But that's what they do. So after a certain amount of episodes, they get rid of a bunch of the girls, and then it goes down to like a very few amount. So they're trying to secure their spot for future.
Okay.
So I think maybe not 4th episode, maybe 5th episode, we'll see a bunch of people leave. Yes. Yeah, so they don't all stay there.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that's when it starts to get like even more spicy and frosty and like all this other shit. Spicy and frosty. Cause like, oh God. Yeah, like I don't know. I do see how she says like Breon really like he teeters that line between like knowing what's flirting and what's going past. And I'm like, honey,
he's gone way past.
he's gone way past. Like when they were playing pool, I'm like, bro, this is like back away. Like your faces like are this close, and she's like, oh, she's a lot. And I'm like, can we wear like bikinis that fit our boobs? Like, what's with all the under boob? I'm like seeing them all pop out on the bottom. I'm like, what is happening right now? You guys are out in public.
Well, they're not really.
No, they're not.
I mean, I would hope you're not wearing that in public, but like you see those type of bikinis.
I know. Yeah, I know. I know.
The Sheen bikinis.
I know. That's fair. And I was like, I always sit there and I wonder, and I'm like, do they tell them what to pack ahead of time? Like, you need this type of outfit, you need this type of outfit.
Maybe.
Like, you need to bring a white bikini, you need to bring this, like something? Or do they have like a dressing room where they can grab
Where
stuff?
they grab stuff.
I don't know. I don't know. But yeah. I like the talk that like Alexa had with Max by the pool. Like I think that was a pretty like that was after the bonfire and they had like a really good talk and stuff like that. And then she asked him for like the second date. And I was like, that's nice. Like I was like, he was just giving me like sweet guy vibes where it was like, I'm like, okay, are you biding time? Are you actually a sweet guy? Like, I don't know. Lino, I'm shocked that he's like behaving so well. And like he's actually like writing in his journal at night. I was like, oh, okay. What I did not like is the fact that he sat there and he was like taking credit for making her a better bachelorette. I'm like, bro, she makes more money than you because she's a travel nurse. I'm like, she wants to go back to school.
Yeah, but like he was saying, he basically like her job being a travel nurse. Like he was like, well, it was between the two of us, so I kind of, and he could work. I think he said he could work wherever, right? Like
he goes applies and stuff. I think he's a labor and delivery nurse, or is that what she is? Okay, but he's also a nurse.
Oh, he's also a nurse.
Yeah, he's also a nurse. So like, I think that's, and I was like, the story about how they met was just like, I was like, this is a lot. That's a lot. It's so cheesy. I'm like, Hallmark moment, like.
Yes.
No, I'm pretty sure he's a nurse too.
Okay.
And like that's where like, okay, like I get it, but you also have the opportunity to say like, I'm not moving anymore. I'm staying put, or I'm going back home to where our family, our friends are. Long distance. You never know. She might come back around. Like it's
I think travel nurses must make a lot of money.
They do make a lot of money. Like it's a good gig. So I'm like, why don't you become a travel nurse and then you guys can travel together?
Yeah.
Like it's just, I don't know. I feel like it's another one of those situations where yes, he is harboring like resentment towards her.
Resentment, yeah.
And that like of not being the first pick. Like I've always been the first pick, bro. I guarantee you have not always been the first
I'm
pick.
used to being pursued. I'm like, oh boy.
That's a lot, man.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I don't know who that girl was. Was it Alex who was like watching him work out and she was just like, I've never worked out. I haven't worked out since I've been here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, come sit on the bench because it's gonna flip up. Like I'm like, oh great. And then like the yoga date, I was just like, this is a lot. I can't.
Yes.
I can't.
Of course Grant was on that yoga date.
I know.
I feel like producers are also setting him up. Like they're putting him in. They know he's gonna be.
Yeah, but also too, it's crazy how the dates are different for each of the couples. Like the girl dates are so much more different than the guy dates. Like the guy dates are all like, oh, like let's get them as like close to touching as possible, and the girl ones are like, we're gonna go ATVing, we're gonna go sit by the water and talk, the four of us.
I know. I feel like, but I feel like though they put them in positions which are going to lead them to cheat.
Yes,
basically.
and I feel like it's easier to do that to guys than girls. Like,
right.
Fair enough. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know, Taylor, like, yeah, she's just older. Like, she just has her shit together. I'm like, why?
I know, but when she was like,
And
when
he's
her
cheated
age,
too.
yes.
Like,
And when her age popped up and it was 30, I was like, there's no way.
I know. But then I looked at her and I was like,
You know,
yes.
no, but you know what? It was when she's standing next to Tyler because he looks like a child. Like he's 27, but he looks like he's
They
in
look-
his early 20s.
Yes.
Like 22, 23.
Yes.
He looks like a baby. So
Yes.
then put him next to her makes her look even older.
Yes. And then I don't know if you caught on the second date, like, so when they were all sitting there talking, and Cody, and she was like, oh, like, he's a Southern gentleman, like, he's kind of my type. But then he was talking about the fact that, like, he gets jealous and this, and then she was like, that's a red flag. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, that's a man. I want a jealous man. I want a man who's gonna be like, don't talk to nobody else. Be like, yes, sir, thank you. I don't know. I don't know if she was like saying that about him.
You want okay, you want them to have an element of jealousy. But
Yes,
you
but I
them
don't
to
want
be-
like the bad jealousy. I don't want you to go and like
You
start
don't-
beating people up and get
Well,
mad at me for shit.
and you don't want someone who's so insecure.
No, insecure jealousy is like I feel different than
Right.
like a general man's like, don't talk to my woman.
Right.
I'm not gonna put you in a situation where there's other men. Like a respectful. I just read a lot of books.
Yes. Right. But yes, a lot of times though, jealousy comes from an insecure
Yes.
place, and you don't want that.
Yes, and this is a great segue into the bonfires.
Yes.
Because I do like how Mark was the host, was like, guys, you are focusing too much on the other person. You need to focus on yourself.
I was like,
Thank you, Mark.
thank you, Mark.
That is where
We
we're at.
think it's the other person, and it rarely
Rarely
is.
is.
And I have it starred.
It
And I was
rarely
like,
is.
yes.
What is it like when you point your finger at somebody, there's three pointing back at you? So it's like, yeah, like you may be pointing fingers, and at the end of the day, like both parties can be at fault, and that's perfectly fine. But like, you have to take accountability for it. And like, my take from the bonfire was all of the guys saw the girls self-reflecting and like having like real conversations with themselves, and they took that as an immediate, well, I guess I'm fucked then. I guess our relationship's over.
Yes.
All right, let me go jump in, Grant.
Yes. No, I know. And like we're so butthurt on getting called out on just things that they've done.
And I'm so happy they gave us the guy one first, because I'm like, all of these clips are so harmless.
I'm like, take some accountability. Like, that's the thing. Like, take accountability for how, like, the way Tyler was like almost, it was practically in tears about her, like,
Oh my
saying
God.
he leaves the toilet seat up.
I know. I know. I was like, oh,
Like-
we're doing the poor me. But like, I feel like guys don't understand the fact that it's like, it's those little things that add up throughout the day that then just become like a burden. And it's like, I just literally asked you to do one thing. Like, just put the toilet seat down.
It's not that hard.
It really isn't.
It's not that hard. And if fighting about this for a year, like,
And at the end of the day, like, if you don't want to put it down the top one, that's fine. But put down the one I sit on.
right.
Like, just do that. And then I'm not gonna fall in the bowl. Like,
He's like, I can do 99 things right. And then I'm like,
I
"You're
know.
not doing 99 things right.
I
I know it. You know it. We all know it. Like,
I'm working on valuing myself.
oh, there's the weaponized therapy.
Oh. I'm like, you learn that. And it was like a total bro club. They're like,
Oh.
it's okay, buddy. It's okay. Like,
okay.
we're in this together. Like, all of our girls shit on us. Like, not one girl shit on anybody. Like, I thought Grant was gonna have a heart attack when he was like, she just pretty much said she didn't want to be with me.
I know.
That's not even close to what she said. She was just like literally saying like he gaslights the shit out of me all the time.
Yes.
And you took that as a personal hit. You're like, "Oh, I'm done. Count me out."
And Tyler being like, well, I think I'm right. Like, he was like, I'll believe you. Like, I'll see this through to the end, but I think I'm done.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, right. Like, I'll see it to what end? Like, Like, what's the end here? What's the point? Just go and have fun then. If you're sitting there already being like, I'm done, blah blah blah. And then it was just like Grant just like literally sitting there. So like when he was having the conversation with what's her face after the yoga thing, and he's just literally like, you know what? Like, I feel like it's just done. Like, I just got to do me and focus on me. And then like attacks her face, and I was like, that was a lot.
It was, ugh.
That was a lot. It was too much. And I'm like, why are we looking at this for so long?
Oh, because then, like, probably the night before, it was, remember,
The
with
tension
them
in the
kitchen? I was like,
you know what? That gave me so much PTSD from a certain tall one. Oh, and I was just like, oh no, like, oh, you're gonna be trouble. You're really tempting me right now. I was like, oh, bro, shit or get off the pot at that point. Like, you're literally just trying. Like, I felt like they were trying to find a dead spot, and I wonder if they did when they were walking around the corner. Like, I feel like they were trying to find a dead spot in the
where there's
cameras.
cameras, yeah, maybe, yeah.
Like, I feel like that's because they were like here in the island, and then they were up against that wall, and then they slowly, he was like, good night, and then she, like,
Yeah.
you couldn't see anything else. So I
Right.
don't know if there's cameras down that hall, or like I would assume there are, but who knows? Like, I 100% think that they were looking for a dead spot because she was like ready to jump their bone.
Oh, absolutely. And I
I don't
think
know.
we've seen from previews that
Yeah.
stuff goes down
Yeah.
after that.
And like, just same with like Breon. Like, I mean, for him, it wasn't bad. He was just like,
No,
oh, like
and
she's having fun.
He admitted
Yes.
it wasn't bad.
And then that's where I kind of wrote that like maybe your outgoing personality overshadows hers.
Right.
And then she's not given the space because then she just feels stupid. Like, and I think we've all been in that situation where like somebody's being like a lot.
Right.
And especially in your partnership, like where somebody's being over the top and maybe that's their personality. So then you naturally like just kind of shrink into yourself sometimes because you're like, well, like there can't be two of us that
Like,
are
a lot.
like,
Yeah.
because then that's just too chaotic, right? And like maybe she's just like, maybe you overstimulate her.
Well, and like maybe she's just more naturally an introvert.
Yeah.
Like,
Which is not a bad thing.
it's
Like,
not a bad thing.
but also I feel like he wants her to be more sexual with him. Like, I'm like, well, maybe if you give her more emotional stuff, it will come out. Like, at the end of the day, if you give somebody the love language that they want and need, they will return that in ways that like are your love language. So like obviously I would say his is probably touch.
Right.
If you maybe give her words of affirmation or you give her that reassurance and stuff like that and you give her that emotional connection and you tell her like I'm all in, I love you, I appreciate you, like this is what I want in life, then maybe she would want to jump your bones more, sir. Like, I don't know. But and then like same with Lino, I'm like that pool conversation that Alexa had with Ashley.
They really they did
it, but that's what they do. They do it so dirty because they'll crop it so it looks
bad.
bad.
Because like they lost the context of that conversation because she wasn't saying what was on there.
Mhm. Yeah.
Exactly.
And then
right? Like
I thought it was what was weird for me was like how he came back from the bonfire and then he went to bed and then like that next day he was like, well, I don't know. I feel like I have to rethink my relationship now. I'm like, all she said was she didn't know if this is what she wanted. Like, she didn't know if maybe she was dumbing herself down or whatever, right? Like, and I mean, at her bonfire, I I think like it was kind of the same, like the conversation that she saw him have with the other girl, right? And I think Mark was right when he said like you have that self-imposed guilt over that first month of your relationship where now you guys have been together for
Right.
3.5 years, right? So she obviously feels guilt. She feels guilt about her first marriage. Like, fair. Like, that's a lot to take
go to
on.
therapy.
Go to therapy.
Let that guilt go.
Yeah. But like also that's a situation too where it's like both of them need to like work on that shit because like he can't keep holding resentment for her. Like she's like she said, I've changed.
Right.
People can change, right? Like I would say women change more than men, but whatever. Like she even said she's like I'm not that same person, right? And I'm like that's completely fair. She like clearly chose him.
Right.
She's been with him.
Right.
Like, and I think the whole point of this experiment is to question your relationship. Like, why am I with this person? Like, if I have to go to this extent, why am I with them?
Yep.
And so, like, once again, the girls are all doing the work and the guys are taking it all personally. Like,
except for Shanti. Like, she saw the chocolate licking.
That, yes. And like,
Is that not violating like your little like
well, and I
rules
think
boundaries?
yes, and I think she said, like, she was like, that's that. Oh, like, I think she was more hurt than she wanted to let on. Like, I don't know. I feel like she's not somebody that shows her emotions a lot. So, but I liked what Mark said was like, I think this is where, because also to that conversation that she saw when he was like about the threesomes and stuff like that. And like, she went back and told the guys, like, I don't know why we keep having this conversation. Like, he knows I'm not into it. Like, I don't think that's right, fair, like, whatever. And she's like, I don't know why he feels the need to have this conversation with other women about it. Like, it's like, that's like airing your sex life to other people.
Right.
But I appreciate how Mark was like, well, maybe this is the time to figure out what you want.
Right.
Like, what is it you want out of your relationship with him?
Well, and I like what Mark said to Breon, and he was basically like, you know, it gets to a point where it's like maybe you're not like if you have so much love for someone, it's not that you're giving something up by
Yeah.
not doing the threesomes, but you just
Yeah.
go past
Yeah.
that want to do that because you're in a
Yeah.
stable relationship and you don't want outside people coming into that
And
relationship.
it circles back to, well, if you were more emotionally available to her and you gave her that emotional connection, I'm sure she'd be a little bit more freaky.
Yeah.
Like,
Maybe
you
you're
do
not
stuff
giving
for
her that safe space to be that way.
100%. Like, maybe she feels like she's going to be judged against all of these other people. Like, when he was like, oh, yeah, I've run through friend groups. I'm like, oh, I bet you have, buddy.
Oh,
And then your friends after? No. There's no way those friends groups are friends after.
that was the biggest red flag conversation I'd ever heard.
I'm like what is happening?
The whole like we run through friend groups. I'm like, what? Why would you do that? That's
And then the friends group are all friends after, and then your friends. I'm so sorry, you can't sleep with somebody and be friends after. Like, it just doesn't work.
and in a whole group.
Yeah, I'm like, how many friends group? Unless you have unless you have multiple friend groups. But it's weird. Like, I don't know. Like,
Couldn't be me.
I don't
Couldn't
know.
be me.
I don't know. And then like poor Ashley. I'm just like, this poor girl is just like, I don't know.
And I feel like I'm like, is that not? I thought we said no touching, and they show Grant cuddling up to Olivia on the boat, and I'm like,
I
is
know.
this also?
I'm so worried for the next one for her. Like, I'm so like, she's gonna lose her mind. I feel like she's gonna have like a mental breakdown, or she's gonna go reverse and get revenge. Which, go honey, get your revenge at this point.
Do it. Yeah.
Like, after you
Let
see
that
what
man-
he does,
Let that man go.
and then like, I think Taylor with the lap dance with Kay, or Tyler with the lap dance. I was just like, oh, that's gonna go bad.
Yeah, but then Taylor's like, he said to me that I was trouble.
I'm like, honey, he said that to every
Everybody.
woman he's ever been with.
everybody. He said it to everybody.
I was like, that is the fuckboy anthem.
Oh, absolutely.
You're trouble.
You're trouble.
You're gonna be trouble.
Ugh.
And I think Breon said it too. I think one of the other guys made it could have been Grant. Let's be honest, it was probably Grant. But like, I was like, fuckboy anthem. You're gonna be trouble. So, yeah. Any last words?
We can't go without touching on what was his name? Cody. Remember when they were doing those like they were reading off the cards.
Yes.
They were reading off the cards and then you had to guess who it was. And it was like someone like butt stuff.
Yeah.
And it was Cody, and I was like, oh boy.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
And then it was
I'm like, are we just gonna gloss over this? We have
I know. Some of the stuff was like really out there or whatever, but I love it. It was Chris who was like, "Let the boys eat," and I was like, "A Jim Bro would say that. Let them boys eat." Yeah, and I just saw like that paint party, and I was like, "Ooh, they're all gonna be in shit right now. They are all gonna be in shit because I know those clips are gonna be at the bonfire probably, unless like worse stuff happens."
Worse stuff happens.
Especially the Tyler one, because she's like literally like all up in his face with her vagine. But like, and then the shower scene with Grant and her and the two other girls when they were like in the confessional, and they just like, I'm like, do you not think there's gonna be a camera in that?
Yeah.
Like, you're fucked. You're done.
So
Fucked,
done.
roasted, blackened, done.
Done.
Like,
Done.
and like, of course you would do the naked run. I'm like, guys, he's not even that hot.
He's not. I don't understand. That's what I'm like. I'm just puzzled over this. Why all these women are throwing themselves at Grant? Because I'm like, how did he even get any bracelets? Like
I don't
it's
know.
very puzzling to me. Like he is the
He
worst.
doesn't. It's not even like he has a really good body either. He has a disgusting belly button.
I have some similar
No.
belly buttons.
No, you have a nice one now.
Now I do. But yes, like he's just gross. Like he's just gross.
I
Like
know. He's just not
he's not
great.
it. He's not it. He's the
No.
worst of the four. He is easily the worst of the four.
100%. Like it's him. I would say for me, like, are we going like looks or like vibe wise? Because like
Bundle it together.
bundle it together, him and Tyler, they're tied for last for me. Like, and then it's Lino, and then it's Breon, because like that's the only one. And to be fair, like there wasn't even really a lot of the other guys that I found attractive either. Like, I'm like, okay, yeah, like
I thought even with the butt stuff, I thought Cody was okay.
he's okay.
He's okay.
I love how Taylor's like, I don't eat ass. I'm never gonna eat ass. Like, there's no happening. I'm like, fair girl, I get it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Yeah, I'm really worried for the next bonfire, and I think like shit's gonna get real now because there's only 10 episodes.
Yes.
So yeah, it's gonna be a lot.
So how many are we gonna do for next week? Are we gonna do 3 or are we gonna do 4? So
Do we want to finish this in 3 weeks?
yeah.
Okay, so we can do 4 next week.
Yeah. And then save. I'm sure the last 3 are gonna be the juiciest 3.
So we did 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so if we do 4, then next week, yeah, and then the following one we can do the reunion because the reunion messy as shit. They do a reunion.
Oh, they do a reunion? Oh, is the 10th?
I don't know.
We'll figure
We'll
it out.
figure it out. But either way, I'm not sure if the 10th episode's the reunion or not.
Or the finale.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not 100%
We'll
sure.
figure
But
it
they do a reunion, and it's fucking great.
With Mark
Yes.
Wahlberg hosting.
Yes, Mark Wahlberg, Marky Mark 2.0. Anyway.
I bet you he's a way better host.
Oh, he is, I will say, like, he is a good host. It's just
He
like,
is a good host.
I just don't know how you can sit there and like watch people do this and like go through this. Like
He's trying to give
I know. He's
fatherly advice.
He is, and he's so like neutral about it, and I'm like,
Yeah.
God bless you. God bless you for not wanting to kill all these men right now. Like,
Because I think I looked him up, and I think he's like happily married with like kids and stuff. So he's probably watching this like. Ugh.
it's like, child, if he has a daughter, like, honey, don't ever do this.
Don't go on the show.
Yeah, he's like, don't.
Unless you're just doing it for fame and fortune.
I mean, hey, if you want to be a single person and go out there just for fame and fortune, go off. But like, just remember, you're not gonna find your love on a life, the love of your life on a show where you're trying to steal somebody else's man. Girls, we're better than that. Come on now. We don't chase after men.
Lino.
Like, in general, we don't chase.
No, I know, but he was like,
I
I'm
know.
used to being pursued. I'm like,
So
there
is
he
that
is.
because you have little legs and can't run? Because he gives me little Oompa Loompa vibes.
He gives me like, I want the women to come after me. I don't chase, I attract.
He just like sits there and he's like, haha, watch me bench press.
Watch me bench press and then like
tear my rotator cuff. I'm like, oh, that's not proper form, bro.
No.
But anyway, thanks for joining us, guys. Listening to us little gabby chat on this. Once again, if you guys have any suggestions on what you want us to talk about in the beginning of the sections, I think next week we'll kind of do like a little brief worst travel stories ever.
In honor of Temptation Island.
Yeah, let's just imagine we're all going away.
Yeah.
Again. For somebody. But anyways, yeah. Have a great day, guys. Cheers.
I look at sugar and spice.